All right, we're live. There we go for stream number 3. Attempt number 2 worked well. The volume was good. I'm still playing around with the settings a little bit. I'm sure I'm going to get better at this over time, and I'm also sure that I can adjust the sound quality. I know it's probably a little bad right now. I'm going to get better. I know there's some settings I can play around with, but I really wanted to get to one of the predictions that I made and share with you guys. So, DGen crew, the goal of this is to show some deep research to actually see if Polymarket is beatable, if it's gambling, if my logic is good enough to actually turn a profit and beat traditional markets using prediction markets. If you're like me and believe that the future of most markets are going to be prediction markets, or they are going to be on chain, that's one of the other reasons I'm doing this, is because I think this is where a lot of the markets are going. It's also really, really cool that prediction markets can be used for a bunch of different things. If you don't know what a prediction market is you're predicting certain outcomes. It's usually a yes or no outcome. I can show you what I mean right now. So it's usually a yes or no outcome. You're saying yes, something will happen, or no, something won't. Everything will always resolve at $1. So you're buying something underneath $1. What's really cool is it can be used as insurance policies. So let's say you're buying a stock, but you're worried about one set of earnings particularly. You could technically buy you could buy a single event insurance policies, which is really cool. But I really wanted to get into one of my predictions that I made here. This is a Mr. Beast. It's one of the things I never thought I would be predicting on, gambling on, whatever you want to call it. I never thought I would be looking at subscriptions. I don't even watch a ton of Mr. Beast videos. Don't tell him that. But I've been tracking some large wallets on Polymarket, and I wanted to see some of the people were predicting on Mr. Beast how many subscribers he would hit, and so I started doing some research into this, and I thought the odds were wrong. I don't always want to get to the conclusion of a bet or a conclusion of a prediction. I do sometimes want to see if I can close the gap in terms of odds. Meaning when I started buying into this one, so specifically, I was looking at the 465 million subscribers by January 31st. When I started buying into this, it was about a 50-50. And I started questioning, okay, why are these odds 50-50? Does that make sense? So let me jump into the spreadsheet. So I'm going to be using a lot of AI to help me out to do some of this deep research. It's not going to be my only tool. You have to have a theory as well. So the theory that I was looking at this going, okay, 465 million by January 31st. Question number 1, is that even possible? So I started putting together a spreadsheet of all of the different predictions. I want to do this more. I will go into some of these in more detail at a later time, but this is the one I'm going to focus on for right now because January 31st is tomorrow. So I've started putting everything together and with some research documents as well. This one is definitely not organized. It's something I will have to get better at. Where is it? I think it's this one. Yeah, will Mr. Beast hit his 465 million subscribers? Let's go into the document. So when I started looking at this specifically, at 400, when the odds were 50-50 at 400 and to get to 465, the odds were 50-50. I think people were breaking it down. So he has an average subscriber growth of about 233,000 subscribers per day. And if I go, there are some really cool trackers that track this. If you guys don't know, there's an Elon Musk tracking bed as well that tracks the number of tweets Elon does per day, per week, per month, and it's his is a little bit more unpredictable. But let's go to one of the trackers right here. So right now, he is at 464,916,302. That's still a freaking lot of subscribers. Like, congratulations. That's crazy. So the interesting thing is, so I think at 233, when I started buying this at 50/50, at 233,000 subscribers a day, it was like, it meant he was about to hit it on January 31st, but would potentially miss it. So that's where I started looking at this going, okay, it's a 50/50. That's why they're pricing the odds at 50/50, because he was almost going to hit it if you broke it down per day at 233,000 subscribers. Then I started looking at it by hour. So I know past subscribers don't equal necessarily future subscribers, but he has been hitting this regularly every single day for the last, I don't know, 8 years, 5 years. It's wild. So the first question I asked myself was, could I just buy 1 million subscribers for Mr. Beast? And the answer to that question was kind of ambiguous. It kind of didn't really get an answer. The short answer is yes, you probably could. YouTube algorithm wouldn't like it. They might have gotten rid of it. So I don't even know if you'd bought that amount of subscribers for them, if they would have even stayed or counted. I also don't know if it would have cost, how much it would have cost to add 1 million subscribers for someone compared to how much you would have been able to bet. These markets aren't liquid. So you can move the market quite a bit with small amounts of money. So even if I was able to buy 1 million subscribers, I don't think I would have been able to move the market. I would have moved the market too much to make it profitable. So yeah, I started looking at this hourly. And when you started looking at it hourly, I think it came down to 9,000 subscribers per hour. And when I started breaking it down hourly like that, it meant that he was more likely than not going to hit his 465 million by the January 31st deadline, when you broke it down hourly. So that to me then should have moved the odds up a little bit more than 50/50. And then where the real thesis comes in is, okay, subscriber growth isn't necessarily a straight line. It's not linear. So subscriber growth is more lumpy. Lumpy being, is there something that could change the outcome of the daily 233,000 subscribers? And my answer to that was yes. And I can tell you exactly why. And all it took was one day. Ooh, an IQ score. Perfect for this. All it would take is one day of abnormal subscriber growth for the odds to be higher than 50/50, to me. And the answer to that was Mr. Beast released his Beast Games show on Amazon. So in January. So my 233 average daily, my thought process was, okay, this is going to be a little bit higher than normal if you're releasing a show at the same time. So I was looking for it to close the gap, because now it's not 50/50 in my mind. Now it's something more like 60/40, and I was buying it at 50/50. So why wouldn't those odds close if the subscriber growth is lumpy and he gets more subscribers on a daily basis just once? And that there was 14 plus days for that to happen. And it did. It has closed the gap since then, and the deadline is tomorrow. And as you can see, he has not hit his 465. Where did we go? Oh, it was the IQ. It was a pop-up. That's what it was. I got you. It was a pop-up. Goddamn pop-up. So I didn't close the bet entirely out as the gap closed, um, but my main reason for not closing it was because I wanted to stream about it, and it wasn't a huge enough bet for it to matter entirely at this point yet. I wanted to get it on stream, but I also wanted to get it on stream because at 464 916 there's still a day left in this. So the crazy part to me is there's still a day left in this, and the odds are down to 88%. So that means, or 89%, it is moving. So there's a like 11%, 11-cent chance here that he doesn't, or actually they're saying 13. There is a bit of a spread, but there's a 13% chance that he misses this. So that's I'm actually looking at this like I should probably be buying some more, because in my head, if he continues, there's still a full 24 hours left. So in my head, if it doesn't make sense that he doesn't hit his 80,000 subscribers in 70, yeah, 85,000 subscribers in 2 days when he's been hitting 200,000 regularly. So to me, the chances, and this is just me throwing out a number here, the chances of this not happening is probably closer to 2%, and it is trading at a 13% spread, 13% spread from my, or 10% spread from my 2% probability of this not happening. So I feel like I should be buying more and then closing it out at about 98 cents. So buying at 80, 89, and closing it out at 98. The questions that I would have is, okay, if for whatever reason subscriber growth stops entirely, will will this will these odds drop really, really fast? And the answer to that is yes. The other thing I will have to look up really quickly is, can you imagine if some like employee at Google just has been betting the opposite side of this and just freezes this is my tinfoil hat segment, that they just freeze the the counter on YouTube channel. So the question is, what is the possibility that the counter would not change by tomorrow on the 31st? Because I think it's pretty accurate. Let's go into this. I think the counter's pretty live. So here's our YouTube counter. What? So I want to know if YouTube subscribers count are live. It does say they are near real time. This is the only other thing that would make it not make sense. My question is, why is there a 13% chance of this not happening when he's been hitting this regularly every single day for the last, I don't know, 6 months? So tick by tick is live. They update in batches. The update can lag by minutes to hours. Okay. But I think he'll hit this if it's following the same trend. It should be hit by tomorrow morning. So even if it's a few hours, I've given there should be a 12-hour buffer. What is the lag time? Lag time 1 to 5 minutes. Large 10 million 5 to 30 minutes. So I want to be copying all this and putting it in my sheet. I'm sorry, I'm not going through the entire sheet with you guys right now. It's also nowhere near organized. The other question I have is if there is no lag time, this is saying a pretty short lag time. Like it's all everything's saying a few minutes, 5 minutes for large lags. So the question also is what time zone is this based on? Because that's the only like I find with betting markets, with prediction markets, that when there's a huge when there's a huge discrepancy in odds, that usually means I'm missing something. But when there's a smaller discrepancy like this, it means so I'm trying to get to the bottom of am I missing something? Am I missing? Why are they putting the odds? Like the market is very smart, so why are they putting the odds at 10% chance of missing this? So universal time for YouTube subscriber count are not based on your local time. The clean answer: YouTube subscriber system runs on UTC. Universal time. That means in practice. So it's not based on. So I wonder if. I think I'm going to learn a lot from doing this about really random facts. Why this is specific, why this matters for January 31st cutoff. If a market says 465 subscribers by January 31st, that usually means January 31st UTC, not local time. So which implies cutoff is 6:59 p.m. January 31st. So that's actually a big deal. I miss so if January 31st 23 hours and 59 not local time, it's almost 6:59 p.m. on January 31st. I'm Eastern. So it means that I'm cutting out 5 hours. I still think this hits in the morning of tomorrow, rather. So even if it's by 7 p.m. tomorrow, so that's where someone probably ran these numbers. Even when it was at 50-50, someone probably ran this by hour and assumed that people were going based on their time zone and not UTC for the count. Because if the cutoff is at 7 p.m. Eastern time and not 12, that makes a huge difference for hours. I'm missing 5 hours there when I was doing it by hour, but I gave myself a buffer. Let's see if I can cut. If you want to tell me, I'm looking for a poly market. Let's see if you have the answer for this. Okay, hold on. This is crazy. So this is what I mean by markets are accurate. Someone definitely did that. They did this by hour and they did it by UTC, assuming everyone was wrong on their time. Anyway, I'm going to add it to the... I don't know why you just disappeared on me. We'll come back. I'm also going to get a quieter mouse or a mouse pad. There you go. We're locked in there. So what is the ending time? If this is based on poly market, then what is the ending time in UTC to Eastern for January 31st on a Molly market. Sorry, I'm doing this just to double check. I wanted to double check that I am actually correct that 7 p.m. is Eastern for Universal Time because I don't know my Universal Times. So if it is 5 p.m. now on the 30th. How? My quick math isn't that great either. The hour. So I got 26 hours left, assuming that he does about 9,000 hours. 9,000 subs every hour. 9,000 times 26 hours. I mean, keep in mind we're looking for, so we should hit this no problem if this is correct. So he should like fly by this. We're looking for 234,000 subscribers. Man, this has a lot of, he'll hit this by tomorrow morning. That's the gambling part about it, I guess, is that there's no certainty that he'll hit it, but I have some room there. I have enough room that I still think I should be. I've also sold out of some of this position, so it's also giving me a spread. It's giving me a pretty wide spread. This is crazy. So let's go. I'm gonna add to it. I'm gonna add in small amounts because I don't want to move the market too much. So when I say move the market, so the spread between the yes and the no is about 5 cents. And so, for example, if I had bought $97 worth, or right now 114, I would have cleared the 89.6. So I'm gonna buy 40 bucks worth, and then I'm gonna put a market order, a limit order in here. So I don't wanna. I think we can make some extra money by doing. I'm gonna go above this. I'm gonna go in the spread here. So I'm gonna pay $85 to make 100. My order's placed. That's my order. 0 of 100 filled. We'll see if this actually gets filled. So someone, this happens all the time on Polymarket. There's bots in here. There's other people in here. So my 85 order is now, there's orders above. So I can see 77. So I do feel like that might get filled. It is pretty volatile, but let's go 80, 87. We'll do smaller amounts here. And I'm also going to put in a sell because I do think this is where I do think I think he's pretty certain of going to hit this. So I think I could let this resolve. I think I could let it go into the resolution. But I will start taking profit at. I'm gonna leave 2% on the table, which is quite a bit if you add it up over time. But if something could happen that we don't know why, all of a sudden the subscribers stop. It would blow my mind a little bit. But we'll put in a sell here at 98, and we're gonna do a 50% sell. Sell yes. So my sell order is all the way up here. There's also a bunch of other people that are going to sell all the way up. $87. All right, so I put 3 buys in. I actually think most of them are probably going to get filled because it's volatile enough. You can cancel all orders in one click. Interesting. You can see the order book thin out as I'm getting up to that 88 mark. But yeah, I'm gonna see how this goes, and this blows my mind still that it's if there is this 918 already. We're up 2,000 more. I think this gap's gonna close as we get closer. The only other thing I needed to check. That I did read this correctly. What this means in playing owners. I just wanted to double check. No, it's still January 31st. I was like, this can't be off by 24 hours. 7 p.m. tomorrow. So we're going to check back in. I'm probably going to check back in on Sunday evening on this. I'll see how it goes. If I can hop on tomorrow, I'll hop on tomorrow morning. And the last thing I wanted to go over with you guys is top holders. Let's see what else. Oof, that's a big. So this is a big wallet on the yes side. He's gonna hit it. That's a good one. I do want to look into you, so you can check out other people's wallets as you're doing this too. What is their current activity? Yeah, sell. Are you adding to this position? Yeah, they're adding. They were adding at 97 cents. That's crazy. I mean, if you're looking to close the gap and you believe it's going to be 100%, then 97, you're making 3%. Why not? All right. I think that's it. I think that's it for this one. I will go over some of the other bets, some of the other predictions with you. I really wanted to get this one in because I had it open and it ends tomorrow. So I thought this was a very cool one to start with. But for now, that's it. We'll keep an eye on this one. I am excited to show you the Logan Paul one. The Logan Paul one is so good, and I opened that one like a few months ago. That one's hilarious. Anyway, teaser alert. Logan Paul one. Logan Paul prediction. Pokemon. That one's gonna be fun. I might even close this if I want to be super cautious, I might even close some of this at 95. But I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit more digging. I think it should be closing at 98. But I could be cautious. I could take some off the table at 95. Anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. It's the DGen crew. I'm ready to launch some fireworks on this win.